all of our attention is usually at the center. Well, that ends today, at least on the show. We're going to be focusing on state governors, and we would be talking about accountability in government, the role that they play in the matters that we're currently dealing with as a nation at this particular time. Of course, I'm going to be joined by a guest. I'm going to be joined by a very familiar voice. A lot of you know who he is. In fact, he's been a guest on the show quite a number of times. But before I go on ahead to introduce my guest for today, as always, I would like to lay some sort of subtle foundation on which we're going to build the majority of the conversations that we would be having on radio today on the Situation Room. Don't forget that this show is being streamed live on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So do us a favor, join us on our streaming platforms, our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube more specifically. You can find us facebook.com/Mainland 98.3 FM, or just search Mainland 98.3 FM on Facebook and you can immediately be connected to our live stream. Well, I did say earlier that the topic is accountability in government with the focus on state governors. Now, public attention regarding the responsibility for good governance is often on the federal government, and discussions are often directed and limited to that level of government. But the state governors in Nigeria are just as powerful. They recognize their powers and their seeming invincibility and thus operate without caution. Unmoved by the poor human development indices in their domains, the Nigerian state governors have persisted in fiscal recklessness, which have been the most significant clog in the wheel of democratic process. I beg your pardon. Now, the powers of these state governors come from the fact that they enjoy immunity, they control sizable resources, and therefore they're able to control the state machinery. And for far too long, all eyes have been on the center. But like I said today on the show, we intend to draw the attention of the public to the other tiers of government, especially at the state level. And all of this is just in a bit to fully understand the extent of dysfunctionality in the system. And then we offer recommendations and prefer solutions to those problems. Well, joining me today on the show is a familiar voice, like I said before, a legal practitioner, a consultant, a notary public, and public affairs analyst, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Barrister Tunji, it's a pleasure to have you on radio once again. Good evening to you.
Thank you. Good evening, Sage. It's my pleasure to be with you.
How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm fine, Ali. Thank you very much.
Yes, Barrister Tunji, let's get straight into the conversation. It's a very dicey one. Three tiers of government, Barrister: the federal, the state, and the local, all of which they have specific responsibilities, but they have to operate in synergy if we, the people, are going to benefit from that particular structure. And as it stands, majority of people attribute almost every dysfunctionality in governance to the federal government. Everything that goes wrong, for some reason, is solely the fault of the federal government. Barrister, why do you think that across different administrations, people do not put the state and local government under the same kind of scrutiny as they do the federal government? Let's start like that. Why?
Yeah, probably because the head of the president who is the head of the federation is seen as the father of the nation, according to them. I don't believe in that. He's seen as father of the federation. I seen as the commander-in-chief of all the states. In other words, some people see the president as having the ability or the power to even direct or control the governance of each state. You know, it's unfortunate that we're not talking about. Some people are of the opinion that, look, since the federal government collected the largest chunk of allocation from the federal revenue, then it should be the one to take the majority of the responsibility. For instance, if you look at our revenue allocation, the federal government is taking 52% or upward, while the state and the local government is sharing the remaining part of the almost 53 is what the state the federal is taking 52.58%. So they probably because of that they have so much money, and again the resources that give money to the country are controlled by the federation, by the federal government, even though it is in my state. Once it's attached to the land, it is owned by the federal government, and they will be the one to take the money. So, based on that, most people believe they should own the most responsibility in terms of providing our needs.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Tūnjí. So before we can claim that, a person or a structure is defaulting in his or her responsibility, we must first establish what those responsibilities are. And if we translate this particular idea into the conversation around governors and our expectations of them, I think it's only wise to first, maybe highlight what, according to the law, are the core responsibilities or duties of the state governor. So if you can just summarily, on the surface, give us an idea. What are the exclusive responsibilities of state governors so that we can now dissect whether or not they are doing what the law asks them to do in taking care of those who they are governing?
Generally, the power of the state consider have the same responsibility in terms of the general responsibility. What am I talking about? By section 1472B of the Constitution, the primary responsibility of the government is to provide security and welfare for the people. Then you cannot take down that welfare. Security is known to everybody. What you mean by security? Protection of life and property. Then when it comes to welfare, we're talking about the deal of people amenities and other amenities like water, food, what we call primary health and other health work services. So that is the primary responsibility of the government. Any government, whether state or federal, has that responsibility of ensuring the welfare of its people by ensuring that they have what they need to survive and to live. So in terms of road construction, in terms of education, in terms of health services, in terms of social amenities and other things that we have. So those are the basic responsibility of the government. We can, if you want to break it down in people, we'll be talking like other things in terms of agriculture, talk about health centers, health services, school, primary and secondary, university, whatever. For both federal and the state, they all have those responsibilities.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Barrister Tūnjí. If you're just joining us, this is still the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We're talking accountability in government, and our focus is on state governors. Well, aside from having Barrister Tūnjí join us, we're going to have the privilege of having somebody else join us as well to make this conversation fuller. We're going to have Tọ́pẹ́ Abdulrasaq Balogun, the AA Lagos State governorship candidate for the 2023 general election. We will be speaking to him as well so that we can talk to somebody who's actually within that system and get different perspective on this. But then we're still going to continue the conversation with the barrister for a while before we bring on our second guest as well. So don't forget that we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. For Facebook, it's facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. Barrister, let's go back to the beginning. The seat of governor is an elective position. It means that according to the Constitution, according to the Electoral Act, the people are the one who choose who governs the state in the same way that we choose the person who is the president of the country. But unfortunately, Barrister, we've had political bigwigs, even predecessors, who have been audacious enough to publicly admit that they handpicked, or like it's commonly said, they have a anointed successor. I think that's the term that they use. And this is a clear deviation from the law. I could give you a number of names. I could tell you about, the River State, Nyesom Wike and Sims Fubara. We have Governor Obaseki and Philip Shaibu in Edo State. It's just a number of people who have been entangled in this particular scenario. Talk to us about the concept of godfatherism. I think I'll just hit the nail on the head. Talk to us about the concept of godfatherism. Predecessors and their anointed successors. The reluctance to let go of the reign of power even after their tenure is over. Their desire to rule by proxy even when somebody else have attained that particular position. What is the implication of this? How does this affect the capability of the governor to fully take over that position and provide good governance to the people?
Well, firstly, let me tell you that there's nothing wrong in godfather. Everywhere, all over the world, there's godfatherism. Even not only in politics, even in places of work, where in your profession you have people who are older than you, who are experienced in those jobs than you, who you want to see as mentor, and who want to see as helping you out in some difficulty situations. That is what they call godfatherism. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, politics, it's been taken to another thing. It's been taken to Another thing, because most of the people who call Godfather are not doing so to mentor anybody. They just want to be in control of the state. They want to hijack everything and then hold everybody to ransom. They are getting away with it because we don't have a system that's working. If you have a working system, nobody, whether you are a governor or what, you have your own right, I have my own right, and everybody will post in line with what you believe. Then nobody will say, I'm imposing this on you. Unfortunately, the people we have in this country, I hope them before Godfather, those who call Godfather, will be Nigerians. But even though some will claim that our vote don't count, some people in quote, some people will say that is whatever they want about that matters. The point is that most people are not interested in governance, and they leave it for these people and see them as they are the only people who can do it. In fact, some of them see it as the deadly affair. If you tell anybody you are in politics, they will say, what are you looking for their place? That is for wicked people. That is for bad people. That is for what they call politics again. They say they have the name they call it. Politics they do or die affair. More than one people want to die. They see a good people in politics and people want to die, or people who are not good enough to do anything. So, and unfortunately, we want these people, then set of people that will call these bad names to control or to rule us and give us good results. It will not happen. So, those who call government are taking over the control of the state. They are hijacked by part of their finances. They have the finance to support and want anybody to go to wherever they are going to. So, that's why you see most people, they worship them and then they bow to them and then whatever they say will not be the position of everybody. So and that's why the government is selling Nigeria. It's selling because we are allowing it. We are making it work. We are not people. When you have a political party and you expect one man to finance that party, to pay all the bills, to buy everything that is required, to provide all material that is needed, all the finance that is required, that person will definitely control the structure of the party and control. And if it gets into power, he will control the state and even the governors that is there, because the government cannot on his own get there without the support of that person. So if that person knows that, look, if not for me, you can't be there. And the other people, and whatever you say, you want to remove this man, other people will also follow suit. They will definitely control the person. And that's why we are seeing what we are seeing today. If we have a system that is working properly, that is working the way it should work, the Godfatherism will not play a major role in determining who becomes our governor or our House of Rep member or senator or whatever election that we want to conduct. Right. Unfortunately, they are in charge because they have the money. And those who want to contest, some of them don't even have anything. And then they will be the one to bring that money. Because take it or leave it, election in Nigeria is about money. You must have money, not only to bribe. So even logistics is money. It's run into millions and billions of naira for presidential election. So it's not about the money to bribe people. No. It's not only to bribe for logistics. It's money. So you must have money because you can't engage people to be working for you, going from one place to another, and you not give them money to eat or even to transport themselves to wherever they are going to. That is money. So Godfatherism is trending. It's thriving in Nigeria because we also allow it. We allow it because we ignore the system, we ignore the governance system, we worship people who have money, and that's what we are seeing. Once you have money, whether it's not even about your personal money, the money you got through being your position as a governor or as whatever you are, you will still use the same money to influence people. So everybody is fighting for their personal pocket. And because they are fighting for their personal pocket, they want to follow anybody that can give them whatever they are looking for. So people worship money, and because you are worshiping money, anybody is able to pay whatever you want to collect. You're able to buy your conscience and buy whatever you want to sell. And that is why somebody will have influence or whatever we are talking about. So when you election in Nigeria, it's not about your popularity. I'm telling you. It's not about, you can be popular than anything. If you don't have the right people supporting you, you will not win. And that's why you see what we call Godfather. They have the influence, they have the finance, they have all the connections, and that is why you can give their support to win anything. So if we have a system whereby things work without any influence, without any too much money, when voters will not even require you to spend money for them to be able to vote for you, then people will be able to get the right result. But Godfather will not have an influence on the people. Right. As long as we want money and we will vote for people who have money, and this is a country where I see people who want to vote and say, this Mr. A is the best, but he does not have money. So they don't vote for the best. They will vote for people who have money.
Right.
And the people who have money will get there and say, I pay for it. So you can't ask me to do anything again. I've done what you asked me to do, and I've gotten it. So I can go ahead and do whatever I want to do.
Right.
And that's what governors are doing too. Right. Anybody who wants to become anything or whatever, you have to bow to the wishes of those governors. Otherwise, you won't get there. And that's why their mission is
Thank you very much, Barrister. Let's pause for a minute. I did say earlier that we are joined by another guest here in the studio, Tokpe Abdurazak Balogun, AA Lagos State Governorship candidate for the 2023 general election. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so very much for making it on such short notice. We appreciate you for also appearing live. Good evening to you, and thank you for coming.
Good evening.
Yes, could you speak a little bit so we could hear you?
Okay, good evening.
Yes, thank you very much. I can hear you now. So I want you to jump on the conversation. You've heard the position of the barrister on the question I asked earlier, and I think I would, throw that same question to you. The barrister has hinted that a lot of these governors, in a way, become figureheads because they have godfathers, a concept that normally should not be a problem. In other words, it's just somebody who's a mentor. But because we have abused the concept of godfatherism in the country, we now have governors who become nothing but figurehead. We have these godfathers ruling the states by proxy. They don't have a say, and so we see that a lot of these governors are, in a manner of speaking, incompetent and are unable to make decisions for themselves. How do you feel about that as somebody who was an active participant of the election? You were trying to be governor in the 2023 election. How did that feel for you, having inside information that there are individuals who have the backings of really strong people in the political landscape? And did you feel like this had any influence whatsoever on the outcomes that we saw?
Well, I want to say, because we are really not enlightened enough as voters in Nigeria, participants in the election matters in Nigeria, that's why the influence of the demigods are so much pronounced within our system, such that we now have very few individuals determining who becomes what at the expense of the populace. So I think we need to continue to advocate, we need to continue to enlighten people, we need to continue to tell people about their rights as people living within this space called Nigeria. And let me say Lagos State as a case study where I contested the last election. I and my team worked so hard confirming some theories and displacing so many theories. One of those things we were able to see is that these people, the people we call the ruling class, let me say in Lagos State as a case study, they are disposable, they are winnable, considering the factor of democracy. The factor of democracy states or stipulates that the person with the highest number of valid vote cast will become the winner of any election that is conducted. And we have a population in Lagos that is close to 20 million as a case study. We have a registered voter that is more than 7 million. And the total of people that have participated in the last election and in previous election, which we studied, being data scientists and data analysts, had never been up to 2 million in the past. That means we have a open number of like 5 million people that are not participating, that are not voting. Let's say plus or minus. Some people have died, some people are unable to go to the polling units. We still have let me say 2 to 3 million people that are not participating effectively, that nobody is influencing them in the real sense of it. So we believe it is because the concept of godfatherism is something we cannot take away from human nature, because the way God has created human, you just want to be dependent on superior person where you lack in it. So people cannot take advantage of your lacking in a particular aspect of life to control you or to influence you positively or negatively, depending on the person's core interest. So what we think is that if you continue to enlighten people, continue to advocate for good governance, continue to let people understand the power of voting, then with time we are going to get there. If you look at the first election that was held in Lagos as a case study, it was a litmus test for people that believe that when the voters want to actually participate effectively, the pendulum can swing to any direction. So it is not a fixated thing. It's just that people are trying to paint it in such a way that it is not possible that you win some people that you call the oligarchs. But then for us, we believe we can always win them. We believe they are winnable. We believe you just need to put in more effort. It will not be easy changing the tides as of today, but then it is a process, and it may take a longer time and a shorter time than expected. But the issue of godfatherism is something we are allowed to thrive, because we are not fighting the godfathers through the ballot box. If you are fighting godfathers through the ballot paper, you are able to vote against them. You are able to declare somebody that has lesser influence of godfathers. Then there is nobody that is not going to have a father somewhere, any type of father.
It should just be mentorship rather than dictating how you govern.
What is the interest, the core interest of the person that is mentoring, that is guiding, that is advising? Who's the person taking high esteem? Who's the person at the ends of our care is going to take his advice as something that he has to work with? So if that person's interest is positive, it's about good governance, fine and good for the people as a whole. But then it is more of the electorate than the godfather himself. The godfather has just one vote officially and can try to influence more votes using his money, using his networks, using whatever. But in Lagos, as a case study, no godfather has been able to use his influence to get 1 million votes. Even the person we know as the big godfather of Lagos lost his own personal election in the presidential election that was held in Lagos. So that shows that it is the electorate that are yet to understand or to know how much powerful they are during electionary process.
Right. Thank you very much. Barrister, I don't know if you're still with us. Barrister Tūnjí, are you here? Hello.
I'm with you.
Yes. I understand that we have to, allow you go for a few minutes, but then let's just take advantage of the time we have left for this particular conversation. Let's talk about the country's, intergovernmental fiscal relations at this time, and I'm talking about the monies available for the governors. You did speak about the sharing formula earlier, and I did have to go and check. I saw that the federal government get 52.68%, the state gets 26.72%, local government gets 20.60%, and there is the 13,000 derivation funds for oil producing states as well. There's also the ecological funds that they collect for natural disasters, amongst other things. And this is me being very, diplomatic with all the many other funds that are made available to these governors. But unfortunately, on account of the very poor performance of these governors, I want to ask a question. How do we justify the monies, the funds, the allocations that are being made available to these governors? I'm very sure that you are aware that since the removal of fuel subsidy, there has been more money available for state governors to share. The cumulative sum is going into trillions of naira, but yet there is absolutely nothing coming out of the states that can stand as justifications for the monies that are made available to these governors. Why exactly is this the case?
Because those government are not serving us. They engage themselves in things that are not even important. They think as a party affair. You see, the way we operate in this country is that once a governor becomes a governor today, they rather than plan how to make people how to grow the country as the state. He's thinking will be how to win the next election. In other words, if it's a first-time governor, he'll be thinking how to win the second time. If it's a second-time governor, you'll be thinking about to install a stooge that will be there in his stead. So, in other words, the issue of the primary purpose of government is not there at all. They don't think about the people. They think about less about the people. They think about how to buy people who support them to win election. So they will be doing things. What they will be doing are things that will make them get more support from people who are into politics, who are stakeholders. So who can influence things in terms of election. So unfortunately, again, the citizens don't even ask questions. There is no transparency. There is no accountability, and citizens don't ask questions. And we have been taken to a level whereby a governor who collects billions of naira monthly will come and just pay salary, and after payment of salary, do one or two what's it called? I don't want to call it construction. We just do one thing or the other. I say in the name of I'm trying to do one
project.
I'm done. They will say ball, 1, 2, or 3 balls, and people will start shouting that he has done well, and he has been doing this and that. People will not even look at the amount of money. They will be comparing the business who has not done a similar thing. Or so that's what we have. They will have and look at the income that's coming in, and the people that do what they are doing. They will not. Instead will be giving a clue for them and say, what about the person that don't do anything, that they did not try, this and that, this and that. So for me, and some people see payment of salary as achievement. What salary is paid, that government in some states is the best. They don't care about that. So we have this attitude of self-centered and self-centeredness. People who collect salary, particularly in states, we have most of them are civil servants. For example, in my state is a civil servant state. What salary is being paid? Civil servant is in support of the governor is doing well, no matter what. If he's not doing another thing, it doesn't concern anybody. Even as much as salary is being paid, that will be the last to say he has performed, and then he should be given another opportunity, or he should be allowed to restore anybody who wants to restore. So what I'm trying to say is that we are seeing what we are seeing because we don't want them to account. We don't ask for transparency. For instance, let me just digress a bit. For instance, let's say when the issue of NIMD was being discussed at the National Assembly, in here, Senator Jᴏɪṛ talked about 500 million naira for each senator. Was anybody aware of that money? Was there any senator? Not who will receive that money. Who will receive that money? But what they say there's not money will give them. It's a project. We just seek the consent of their people to say, look, we are expecting so amount of money from this budget. What are the things that you want to do? So instead, if you don't know, instead what they will do after they will just come and do one 10 tools for few street light or whatever, and the people will be clapping and say they will do one toilet or so, paint one classroom or 2 classrooms in their constituency. They will not pay up to 100 million naira, and people will be clapping and saying, this man is prepared. He has done this, he has done that, exactly. Not knowing that he has 500 million naira to do something that they were not aware of, because there is no way, and that's why I want to, like I said, digress. I want to agree that the responsibility was correct when he said there are some money that has no tie to any project. They are not tied to any project. Because they tell me where in that project was it stated that the senior senators, I don't know what they call them, the
ranking senators,
500 million naira to do project. Was it stated in that project? Was there any kind of was the highlight of the project they would do in that project in that budget?
Hello? Oh, we apologize. I think we have a little glitch, but it doesn't matter. We'll get Barrister back on the line. We definitely have a guest here in the studio. Like I said before, it's a full house, and it's beautiful because at least we can have deeper dialogue from different perspectives. Tọ́pẹ́ Abdulrazak Balogun, the Action Alliance Lagos State Governorship candidate for 2023 general election, is here with us live in the studio. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid is joining us via the phone line. Again, I would direct that question to you, Tọ́pẹ́ Abdulrazak Balogun. There's the 13% derivation fund. There's at least 26% of revenue that these governors are, entitled to. There's the FAC allocation, which has grown tremendously following the removal of fuel subsidy. And it's so unfortunate that these states that still receive derivation funds do not necessarily have any notable developmental projects going on in their state. And it begs the question, what is the justification for these monies that are made available to the governors? And the fact that there's hardly anybody that is asking questions. We know that they get these monies, and nobody's asking, why is there no commensurate development in your state, despite the fact that there is an increase in the amount of money that is made available to you?
Firstly, there is a justification. There's a justification for the money that is being allocated.
Enlighten us, tell us.
The Constitution gives them the opportunity to have those allocations, and they have a monthly meeting. That's the fact. FAAC means Federal Account Allocation Committee. So it's a committee that comprises of series of people from different tiers of the government. We have representative of the federal government, that of the state government too, that are part of the committee, and they have to discuss the sharing formula, even though there is something you can call a generally agreed percentage, but what goes to what state at every month will be discussed based on what was generated on a monthly basis. Even though the debate has always been the percentage that has been earmarked for the federal government being too enormous, and many a time putting the state government at a risk of not being able to discharge their duties appropriately. If a federal government is having 50-something% of the whole share, then we already have 13% derivative going back to some states. We have some money going for ecological funds and the likes. Now we are now having a state having to manage 20-something%. Now, the problem we now have is the local government having a joint account with the state. That gives a question mark to what the integrity of what we profess as federating units. We are talking about federalism. We are supposed to have the federal generating their own fund, the state generating their own fund, and administering them, then the local governments too. But we now have a situation where they now have to tell the states and the local government to have a joint account. That means the local government is not going to be having direct control over its own fund, because it doesn't have an account. The money is going through directly from that money that was gathered together from the federal government shared. So that gives room for diversion, gives room for
misappropriation. Yeah,
it gives room for serious embezzlement and a lot of developmental issues with now setting, because a money you don't have control over, you have to bow or bend to the decision of. That's why in Lagos State, as a case study, there was a day I studied different agencies, and I was like, almost all the constitutional role of local government had been hijacked.
Let's not. I don't want us to model up the conversation, because there's a part of this where we talk about the unholy alliance between the state and the local government, and I want this to be a conversation on its own.
Yes, yeah? That's why I said the issue of money. You see, you cannot separate.
No, we're not separating.
When you are talking about why you are not seeing development, you will not see development when the money is not
okay. Let's take it from here.
The money has been given to the state government to take charge instead of the people that are supposed to own the money. And at the end of the day,
let's take it from here. Let's take it from here. On the financial recklessness of governors is what I'm speaking about now. I'm not necessarily, talking about it
because they have been empowered to be financially reckless.
Let me highlight this now. The aftermath of the National Economic Council revealed that 36 states of the FCT, they have an outstanding liability of 1.72 trillion to the federal government in budget support facility. The domestic debt of states, that's how much money they are owing. It's a cumulative sum of almost 5 trillion naira. They're owing teachers, they're owing pensioners, government workers. And a recent report in the Punch, I believe, some 2 days ago, revealed that 26 states, including Bayelsa, Ondo, Akure, Akwa Ibom, and I'm highlighting these states because these are some of the states that get the 13% derivation funds, say they are unable to pay their own workers without the FAC allocation, despite the fact that they get other resources. And even they don't have enough IGR to cater to themselves without the interference of the federal government. That is where I'm taking it to. I get it that, there's the whole issue with the state and local government where the local government does not get the resources it needs to take care of grassroots problems. Here, I want us to focus on the financial fiscal recklessness of the governors. The fact that they are owing as much as 5 trillion naira. 26 of them, about 7 of them still get 13% derivation.
The budget of renewal sometime when the budget was passed. Already inside that budget, there was a creation that gave room for deficit. We were about to, we are operating presently a deficit budget. So when you operate a deficit budget, definitely you are already planning to owe people. You are already planning to be indebted to people after the year. So all those things they were mentioning are accumulated debts. it's not a debt that was accrued to a particular administration all at a go. So then we will now talk about they have resources. Let me say they may have human resources, but then we have what we call the exclusive lists and the concurrent list that are separated in the constitution, such that at the end of the day, a state will not have a direct access to mine. Of
course, we know about resource control.
So all those things are things that you cannot just say, okay, they have this in their state, but they don't have access to them. That is, in fact, one of those things some of us always argue against is creation of states arbitrarily. You just want to create states. When you create states, you are not looking at the financial capacity of the state to stand alone. I had the opportunity of visiting some states and I shook my head because there is no way those states will be able to sustain themselves unless they are going to be unnecessarily inconveniencing their people, because those people are already impoverished because of the way the environment has been so much skewed against them. Now telling them to come and pay tax on what basis when they are not even able to, they live from hand to mouth, and you are telling them to come and pay tax? Many of these states, they only thrive in possibly 2 or 3 cities within the whole of the states, and that is where they get some little crumbs that comes to them. And you are talking about a state that is supposed to manage a whole lot of, and inside that whatever crumbs they have and the FVC they are getting, the allocation they are getting from the federal government, they are still expected to establish major developments. They are supposed to make constructions. They are supposed to pay salaries of workers. And at the end of the day, by the time you look at it, and they are going to be anticipating stealing some of them. So that's why you have white elephant projects here and there that are incompleted. They are projects that are just on paper. So they just want to say they are doing something. In the recess of it, those states cannot. They are not states that can stand alone on their feet if they have no opportunity to own their own resources and mine them.
Hold that thought, please. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I want to get the barrister on the line. Barrister Tūnjí, are you here? Good evening. Welcome back.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yes. Let me pick your brain a little bit about the conversation I'm having here with Mr. Tokpe. We're talking about, the FAC allocation to the state governors. We're basically talking about, the fiscal recklessness of the governors, the amount of monies that they have access to, the security votes, the ecological fund, the FAC allocation, some of the states that have access to the 13% derivation funds, among other things, right? And here we're having a conversation about why is it that we do not have a development in these states that are commensurate to the amount of money made available to these governors. And as you know, that money has increased tremendously, especially since the removal of fuel subsidy. Now, Mr. Topper here is of the opinion that the monies might not be as, tremendous as we think them to be, considering the fact that there are a number of projects that they need to execute. These figures might sound heavy, but it probably might not be enough to execute all the many things that they have to execute as state government. Is this a notion that you align yourself with, or do you think that maybe the governors are just reckless in their spending?
Yeah, you want to say they are reckless in spending. In as much as let's even assume they're not considering that what they are having today is not enough to do what they want to do. The little they have, what are they doing with it? Have you seen them do anything that is developmental? What they spend money on is their personal things, political affairs, how they sustain how they sustain their systems in the government. That's what you see. They don't care about people. So for me, I don't want to agree that it's because the money was not enough or something. No, let's even see the people they are having. What are they doing with it? A state like Lagos State, for instance, the entire idea of Lagos State, we are told if they can achieve other countries combined together, you want to generate in a month. Yet, Lagos State is the highest doctor. One little thing, same road all the time. It's what they do. For me, even though yes, we are seeing some things these days, those projects have been on for how many years? And every year they make provision for it in their budget, and yet we don't see anything. So for me, it is not about the money not being enough. It's about them not having interest of doing things that will develop. But yeah, Lagos State, that's the one I say about Lagos State. Relatively, they people trying to an extent in the way I do to achieve one or two things. Then for me, if I'm to give them mark as to whether or not they've done better or they've done well, I'll give them 2.5 over 10, which is still not a pass mark. If for instance in my state, Kwara State, if I want to give the government a pass, I'll give him 1 of magnanimous because I've not been doing anything. The thing is, has come into office for almost 5 years now. They have not done anything tangible that can be seen. What they do, I just to either pay schools or do this and that, and the people will be clapping. And at the end of the day, they will tell us we have spent billions of naira in it. So the thing they are using money to do are luxury. Things that are not necessary for the people. Things that will not develop the interest of the state. You see, they will collect a lot of money from the debt money or whatever they call it. You will not, and you will see people sitting down under the tree and or school that without any proper structure. That's what we see. So it's for me. It's not about. Yes, I agree that if we are running our system the way it should be run, whereby the federation or the federal government will not be doing everything or taking everything. Because if you say people also, we say whatever you see in your land, on your land, natural resources that you see on land, belong to the federal government. Which means whatever money that got it from there, it is your own, it's the federal government's own. So when else you want to take to get IDR? What do you want them to get money apart from taxing people? So the stock of income that can be used to make money has been taken over by the federal. So another people are more concerned about the federal government. So the government, like I said, but the people they are having, what are they doing with it? I am not seeing the correspondent results of the little they are getting. The other I am seeing the flamboyancy. You see them talk about give themselves money that is right, that is humongous. Then when it comes to state, there will be complaint. There will be no money. Look at the federal government. They will have 5 billion naira for the entire student loan, which has been postponed. Even the
definitely, yeah.
You will see 5 billion. Then you will see financial projects for theater, or you see money for running to hundreds of billions. That is the priority. Priority is just to give them money and enjoy themselves. They are not about people. If they have it by priority for the people, the little they have, and actually that can be more of them. If they all it's what you call legacy. They are still there. They are still seeing it. I can't lay my hands on legacy that has been taken aside by this part of this government. The one that have been there before, the one that have got has left. I cannot lay my hands on some of their legacy. Some of them don't have anything at all, apart from having the political structure. You can see them voting. I use my money to buy phone for everybody. That is personal money. Some of them don't even have any job before becoming the governor, and yet they will talk about their money. I think that money belongs to them personally. For me, they are not doing enough. And everybody is telling me because he's seeing one road, a small road or the other, and saying that they have done enough. For example, people will call and say the President Buhari did the road. The Nigeria bridge. At what? At how much? The test too. We're not even seeing the state as part of the government. We're not even seeing that those who are supposed to provide infrastructure for us. We only rely on federal government to do all these things. For me, we have enough. We have money to do what I want to do. I'm not part of those who say we don't have money. We have money. We are squandering the money. That is it. When I say we, I'm talking about this. We have the privilege to manage our commonwealth. Are squandering the money simply for their personal purposes, and we enjoying the money. You see somebody who has no business before becoming a senator or house of member or a governor, becoming a multi-billionaire, and people will not ask questions. And some people will even decide and say, if you are a governor, you expect you not to have money. I think it's normal. So for me, the governors are not being, we are not holding them into account enough. We only focus more on the president.
Thank you very much.
Ask them questions. We need to be asking questions, but then the state, they don't do anything. Most of them don't do anything apart from just going on that share it, and that will be the end of it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Barrister.
You don't even see it. You don't know how even have the technical meeting.
Right. Barrister Shinjibe, we're really pressed for time and I really want us to get into this conversation. So I apologize if, the time given to answer each question is I'm so sorry. We're streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. You can join the live stream. You can, as a matter of fact, take advantage of the live option on our Facebook platform. Drop your contributions on there when it's time to take submissions. I'll read those messages. And if you'd like to engage our guest as well, you would have the opportunity to do so. But let's get through the conversation questions so that you're informed enough to come up with your own opinion on the matter. Very briefly, we're going to now talk about the state government and the local government. But then I just wanted to highlight in there, the security vote, for example. I mean, I'll be preaching to the choir if I start talking about the spate of insecurity in the country at this time. And security vote is something that you cannot necessarily audit. You can't probe it. You can ask questions. How do you spend your security vote? And that, a lot of people will say that's testament to the fact that state government are not using the money in the hundreds. It's not easy to move security operatives to stop them. How do you know? So what are you doing with the security vote as a state governor? It's questions that people believe that the local government are very resistant to that concept. Why, again, are they operating an individual account if the local government is recognized, as an independent tier of government?
You see, that's why when people criticize the constitution of Nigeria, you may be thinking you understand that there are some things you say that doesn't make sense. You cannot be going forward and at the same time coming backward. You are talking about recognizing local governments to become a tier of governments, and at the same time you are saying they cannot stand by their own feet to generate their income, to collect money from the states, to collect money from the federal government and spend it by their own volition. So these are issues, and there is no way the state is going to agree to leave them because they are, number one, they are not the one that tied them. Have an issue.
Okay.
So, and because they are enjoying the largesse, like I told you that earlier on, I said through that opportunity, is a leakage in governance that is open to them. They can divert fund, they can embezzle fund, they can misappropriate, and that is why you will now see states engaging in there's this agency in Lagos State now, LASA, I think, the one that is in charge of signage and the like. It's the job of the local government. But there is an agency in the state that is doing it. Management of parks are the job of the local government. Now the state will be executing those plans on behalf of the local government and be collecting the fund back to the local to the states covers, saying okay, we have helped you to spend, we have done this. And again, the problem why this thing is getting an edgeway is because of the way many of those people that ascended the office at the local government got there in the first place. That's why they are not able to challenge.
They are alleged to be cronies of
they cannot
the
challenge
state.
because there are opportunities for them to take the governors if they observe that they have dabbled into dip their hands into their what's it called, their finance or their funds that are not supposed to be taken away from them. They can report them to the EFCC, bringing out facts. They can tell the EFCC that the governor did not give them the right allocation as given to them from the federal allocation, because this allocation is not something that is shrouded in secrecy. Really. It's something that has representative of every tier of government at the sitting. It's a committee. MAC is a committee, and the committee, that's Federal Account Allocation Committee, are going to be sitting down to deliberate on how they are going to share, so everybody knows from the point of sharing that allocation what is due to them. Each person is entitled to it. But they cannot sign it out. And if they cannot sign it out, automatically they have to do a kind of lobbying with the state to be able to get whatever comes. That's the local government. The local government has to lobby. Right. And one of those things that is funny is that in that same constitution, they gave local government their duties or responsibilities to discharge. They now said the state supervises them. Yes, under the House of Assembly will now be able to give them more or remove. That's why an House of Assembly can call a local government chairman to come and explain this and that and possibly suspend him from his it's just like the governor cannot be called by the House of Reps or Senate, that's the National House of Assembly, and suspend him. The House of Assembly is not supposed to have the power to suspend the local government chairman, because he also has something similar at the local government. That is the councillors, that they have the leader of the house and the likes. But all those things they are not making them work. And they are not making them work not because they don't want them to work, but because the constitution has given the power to those that are not letting them function. So it is not the fault of the state government. If there is a constitutional review, when the money is going directly to them, when everybody, just like the state is free from the federal government. Look at, there was a time there is this imbroglio at Rivers State. Some people were saying, what is the job of the sub-president? Calling or inviting Governor Fubara and former Governor Wike, this and that. They have the right to say that because constitutionally is not empowered to do that. He may do it by his own volition. He may do it on empathy or sympathy for the people of Rivers. But he doesn't have the constitutional power to do that. But here we have people that are giving constitutional power, authority, to deal with the local government as if they are subordinates. So, and these are issues that we just have to clear. And that is why the state will never, because it's something that I enjoy in the like this. It will just be like, it will not be in my own tenure that I will give out what I am benefiting directly. Because if they are not benefiting from it, possibly, they are the ones that are choosing all those people. You just go and sit there. They are even the ones that
they don't even conduct the local government elections, right? They choose when they want to.
The independent electoral commission that will choose whoever is to be. In fact, there was an election that was held in Lagos some times ago. Election was still ongoing. You will see practically that they were announcing this result. I don't know, possibly by duress or whatever. But you can see it that how is election still going on? And they're already telling us somebody won by landslide. A particular party won all the local government by landslide victory. So these are issues that are wrong with our constitution.
Right.
And possibly the lawyer can tell us how we can do about it.
Yes, please. Yes, in 2 minutes if you can, please. We are going for a break. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. I think I want to agree. I will not agree that it's our constitution that is the problem. It's not the constitution. It is the people who entrusted with the implementation of the constitution that is the problem. There is nowhere in the constitution that says the states should encourage the jobs of the local. The functions of the local government are stated in the constitution. First they do of the constitution, Section 7 of the constitution says it clearly. And that the issue of road construction, the market parking, or this and that, are local government jobs that have been taken over by the government. So impunity is what we have, because we have individuals who are stronger than the country, who are stronger than the state, who see themselves as above the law. In fact, the constitution is the people you are not applying. We don't have structure that can enforce the law, and that's why we are still what we are having. There is nothing in the constitution that says the local government must not be in some states, in major states. I mean, but it's not even major state. For example, I know my state, which is Kwara State. The 2019, there has not been any election to local government. Despite the fact that there is a Supreme Court authority or decision to that effect that there shouldn't be any caretaker appointment that is illegal. They ignore it and they are doing whatever they like. So and nobody is talking, nobody is enforcing it. So impunity is what I would say. It's not the constitution itself. Right. No matter what the constitution says, it only will not enforce itself. It is the people that will enforce the constitution. But when people are supposed to enforce the constitution and not doing so, they are doing it the other way. How do we blame the constitution for that? It's not the constitution, it's the people. Right. Until we change our attitude and we respect our law, that's when we get it right.
Yes, we're waiting for a break. Yes, we'll be back. We'll be back. All right. We just need a few minutes to take the headline news, and then we'll pay a few bills. We'll take a few commercials, and then we'll be back. Ask a few questions. Open the phone lines for people to contribute. This is the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We are talking accountability in government with a focus on the state governors. I have Tokpe Abdurazak Balogun, Action Alliance Lagos State Governorship candidate for 2023 general election, and joining me virtually is also Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Is a familiar voice here. A lot of you know who he is. But let's go on a break, take the headline news. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline news on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. Senators hold closed-door meeting with Wike and FCT Police Commissioner. Obi urges federal government to secure farmers and give adequate support for increased food production. Nigeria opens land and air borders with Niger Republic. Kudos knocks trail government delay of student loan initiative. And a foreign in U.S. House to vote on TikTok ban. And in sports, Osimhen misses out on 17 billion naira payday after Napoli's UCL loss to Barcelona. That's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
Yeah, know what this is.
98.3 Mainland FM.
Wait, isn't that an Alte jam?
Yeah, it enter, Abby.
Wait, oh, when did you start jamming Alte? What happened to Afro depression? Like, who put you on?
Oh yeah, dial Sophie's number. Now that's who put me on.
Share your vibe with Hello Tunes from Airtel. Dial *790# to enjoy free trial and pay later.
Airtel, a reason to imagine. My country people, travel lottery don't come oh. Sure you don't hear of Japa Fly? Oh yeah, make I gist you. Japa Fly, na lottery company will go help you achieve that your dream vacation for that your dream location with small shekeli money of 1,500 or 5,000 naira. You don't stand chance to qualify. Whether you single, you get babe or get bobo or can't even get family. Japa Fly, get a better package for you all. As you don't get this information, just imagine yourself for Dubai. As you the sip wine, they enjoy yourself. Open your eye, make you sharply colors to Japa Rice. We go help you bring that dream come reality. Oya colors on 090-9000-0888. You fit send email play@japafly.com. You fit also visit our website www.japafly.com. You must be 18 and above to follow join play. Make una play responsible. Terms and conditions apply. Japafly.com. Play and fly.
Are you seeking admission into a tertiary institution in Nigeria? Here is a big opportunity for you. The 2022-2023 admission into Eko City Polytechnic is now open. Available courses are Computer Science, Theatre and Media Arts, Mass Communication, Science Laboratory Technology, Electronics Engineering, Accounting, Banking Operations, Business Administration, Multimedia Technology. Qualified students should have scored 100 and above in the last JAMB exam. Facilities at Eko City Polytechnic includes well-equipped studio and laboratories, modern classrooms, innovative workshop, recreation space, and fully functional hostels. Our lecturers and tutors combine both academic and industry experience. Full-time and part-time admission forms are available for the 2022-2023 academic session at the campus Eko City Polytechnic, Plot 100, Alhaji Onilewura Street, Ikoto Egbe, Lagos State. Eko City Polytechnic is approved by JAMB, MBTE, and the Federal Ministry of Education. For more information, please call Moses 091-6254-0610, Wale 091-6292-7079, Praise 091-6269-9996, Adelanwa 081-2658-0784, or visit our website www.ecocity.edu.ng. Eko City Polytechnic, building industry-ready professionals.
Attention, Airtel customers. If your line has been blocked, then this is for you. Head to the nearest Airtel shop with your NIN. Our friendly staff will help you get your line back up and running. Don't let a blocked line keep you out of touch.
Airtel, a reason to imagine. My country people, travel lottery don't come oh. Sure you don't hear of Japa Fly? Oh yeah, make I gist you. Japa Fly, na lottery company will go help you achieve that your dream vacation for that your dream location with small shekeli money of 1,500 or 5,000 naira. You don't stand chance to qualify. Whether you single, you get babe or get bobo or can't even get family. Japa Fly, get a better package for you all. As you don't get this information, just imagine yourself for Dubai. As you the sip wine, they enjoy yourself. Open your eye, make you sharply colors to Japa Rice. We go help you bring that dream come reality. Oya colors on 090-9000-0888. You fit send email play@japafly.com. You fit also visit our website www.japafly.com. You must be 18 and above to follow join play. Make una play responsible. Terms and conditions apply. Japafly.com. Play and fly.
Wait, isn't that an Alte jam?
Yeah, Gideon Abi.
Wait, oh, when did you start jamming Alte? What happened to Afro depression? Like, who put you on?
Oh yeah, dial Sophie's number. Now that's who put me on.
Share your vibe with 꽌괜tunes from Airtel. Dial *790# to enjoy free trial and pay later.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
My son, let me check this phone. I don't know wetin Junior press. You know they work again.
Make I see. Ah, mommy.
Wetin happen?
They don't block your line now.
Nobody like to chop blocking, no. So, if they don't block you unto say you not link your NIN to your Airtel line, run kitty go any Airtel shop with your NIN to unblock your line today.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Are you seeking admission into a tertiary institution in Nigeria? Here is a big opportunity for you. The 2022-2023 admission into Eko Polytechnic is now open. Available courses are Computer Science, Theatre and Media Arts, Mass Communication, Science Laboratory Technology, Electronics Engineering, Accounting, Banking Operations, Business Administration, Multimedia Technology. Qualified students should have scored 100 and above in the last JAMB exam. Facilities at Eko Polytechnic includes well-equipped studio and laboratories, modern classrooms, innovative workshop, recreation space, and fully functional hostels. Our lecturers and tutors combine both academic and industry experience. Full-time and part-time admission forms are available for the 2022-2023 academic session at the campus, Eko City Polytechnic, Plot 100, Alhaji Onilewura Street, Ikotu Egbe, Lagos State. Eko City Polytechnic is approved by JAMB, MBTE, and the Federal Ministry of Education. For more information, please call Moses 091-6254-0610, Wale 091-6292-7079, Praise 091-6269-9996, Adelanwa 081-2658-0784, or visit our website www.ecocity.edu.ng. Eko City Polytechnic, building industry-ready professionals.
Attention, Airtel customers. If your line has been blocked, then this is for you. Head to the nearest Airtel shop with your NIN. Our friendly staff will help you get your line back up and running. Don't let a blocked line keep you out of touch.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
What takes a plate of jollof rice to the next level of goodness? Is it when it is cooked with no seasoning cubes for that sumptuous taste? Or when you serve it with correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrot, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans?
It's both. Season your jollof with the rich taste of Knorr cubes and serve with plenty of vegetables. So, go ahead and elevate your meals. Today, eat for good.
Wait, isn't that an Alte jam?
Yeah, Gideon Abi.
Wait, oh, when did you start jamming Alte? What happened to Afro depression? Like, who put you on?
Oh yeah, dial Sophie's number. Now that's who put me on.
Share your vibe with 꽌괜tunes from Airtel. Dial *790# to enjoy free trial and pay later.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Fantastic conversations. Great to see you again. It's good weather. You want to agree with that?
Yeah, I love weather.
Trending music.
Dear Nigerians, I am determined, I repeat, to give you the affordable and reliable power.
The stakes are higher than ever.
Government policy does not support youth in this country. So if you say you have any idea, one day, one way or the other.
The conversations are louder than imagined. The expectations are greater. The demand for quality blueprints needed to make informed decisions is constantly being reviewed.
You can't start hiding under party or anything. We are leaders that are entrusted by our people. Come and speak on their behalf.
The Situation Room on 98.3 Mainland FM provides the platform where all of your demands are met. Issue-based conversations about politics, policies, leadership and governance in Nigeria and around the world. Join us every Mondays through Fridays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we engage and interact towards setting the agenda for proper accountability and public engagements. The Situation Room is here. We welcome the roommates.
Welcome back and thank you for standing by. Of course, we have to take commercials. I know that a lot of you want to be a part of the conversation and I sincerely apologize, but like I said, the commercials are necessary. If you're just joining us, this is the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola. We've been talking about accountability in government. A lot of emphasis has been placed on the state governors, our expectations of them. We've had conversations about, accusations of fiscal recklessness, the amount of money made available to the governors, the relationship between the state governors and the local government, what the constitution says about how the operation should be like, amongst other things. And I do have the privilege of talking to Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, who is a legal practitioner, a consultant, notary public and public affairs analyst. And also I have live with me here in the studio Tokpe Abdulrazak Balogun, Action Alliance Lagos State Governorship candidate for the 2023 general election. We've had a lot of opinions, some differing, some in alliance, but then that's the beauty of dialogue, to get as many opinions as possible, expert professional opinions, so that we're able to truly get a picture of what is happening when it comes to governance in the state level. If we're able to, spend some time to answer a few more questions before we take maybe 2-3 phone calls, I would really appreciate that. I would like to talk about Abdulrazak Balogun. I would like to talk about the remunerations that are made available to these governors. Now, this might be unrelated, but in a way it is still related, and I would like to reference the law in doing this. Please allow me the opportunity to reference paragraph 2A of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers in the 5th schedule. That's part 1 of the Constitution, and I'll read in parts now because we don't have the time to take the entire thing. It says, a public officer shall not receive or be paid the emolument of any public office at the same time as he receives or is paid the emolument of any other public office. Now, state governors who are former state governors who now operate at the Senate, who are now senators, who are now lawmakers, it's a number of them that still take pension from the states that they had governed in the past, and they're still actively collecting salaries as lawmakers and as senators. And we've had a number of former governors, like the former governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel, who said, I'm letting go of my pension in the state, I'll just take my salary as a lawmaker now, amongst other things. But this is breaking the law, basically. That's for the rest of them who are taking okay, yeah, your microphone is on.
Actually, I think I don't know, I'm not a lawyer but then for what I know of that particular provision is that they cannot hold simultaneously 2 different positions.
No, the law does say that you can't get paid as a public officer. You can't get paid.
Yes,
from
like let me give you a case study. Somebody that had worked with Lagos State government as a case study as a civil servant.
Yeah.
He has a right to collect pension.
I'm sorry. I want to highlight the law. So hold on.
complaint, you want to go.
No, this is a different part. The law also says you have to have worked a minimum of 10 years before you are entitled to pension. And governor served for 8 years.
See, they did not, all these things that are happening, they did not happen by fiat.
Okay, explain to me.
As my own personal,
I understand. Explain
my own
to me.
personal view or my own personal philosophy does not align with so many of these things that are going on in government. That's why some of us, person like me, contested against the incumbent governor, and I think and I felt I would have been a better governor, and I would have let out so many things.
Okay, so what do you feel about this particular provision?
You can't blame those governors.
Okay.
You have an House of Assembly. They are the legislative arm of the government.
Okay.
And they are the people that legislated that when a governor that has served for 8 years finishes his tenure, he is entitled to this.
Severance packages.
And if like in Lagos, say if it is 4 years, there's a particular thing he's going to get. If it is 8 years. So it is not the prerogative of the governor to now say he's breaking law. He's not breaking any law, because it is also a law that is bringing. So we now have constitutional lawyers that can go to court, because there is a kind of dichotomy between a state emanating his own law and the constitutional provisions that is being. Doesn't
the Constitution override?
So you see, I and you cannot sit down.
Okay, we have a barrister.
So
actually,
that is why it is a case of constitutional lawyers going to court or concerned citizens going to court.
Exactly.
And the court is going to do a better interpretation.
Luckily, we have a barrister.
Let's hear. What we know is that somebody cannot be a member of the cabinet and be a member of the legislative.
Of course, yes,
arm.
yes.
So that he will not be having a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But here we are talking about being paid. So if the constitution says he's going to be paid as a former governor, now he was elected as a senator, and he has the right to collect
his salaries. So, of course.
I am like I said, I personally have a philosophy that is so much far apart from what is operational. But we are talking about what is happening, and you cannot be living outside the constitution of Nigeria. If you are in Nigeria, if you are still in Nigeria, you can only agitate for a better state of things, for state of affairs. But as of today, that is what operates. Okay. So Lagos State governor, former governors of Lagos State are not collecting their emoluments by fiat. There are people that legislated that they should give them such thing.
I'm even talking generally now. I'm not particular to Lagos. Let's talk about Barrister Tᴜɪ̀nᴇ here, because we're really almost out of time. Barrister.
I'm listening to you.
Yes. So I asked the question. I've referenced the part of the law that says that, public officers are not supposed to be collecting emolument, in two parts. And we have former governors who are senators now, and they're collecting pensions from the states that they once governed, and they're, simultaneously collecting a payment as senators. So what does the interpretation of the law say about that? Are they still supposed to be collecting these payments, especially because the law, like I said earlier, also says that for you to be eligible to take a pension, you must have worked a minimum of at least 10 years as a public officer. But the tenure for governorship, 2 terms, which is the maximum, sums up to just 8 years. So how do we reconcile what the law says, these two aspects of the law? How do we reconcile it?
We have a conflict here.
Yeah.
We have a conflict here because I'm not aware that any former governor is collecting salary again. They are collecting
pension. That's what I'm saying. Pensions and severance packages.
They are collecting money based on the law made by the state. So there's a conflict in law. Both of these individuals, after their tenure, a party law is and it therefore becomes a law. So that's that. So for me, the aspect of the law that I was referring to generally to public service. These are political office holders. They are trying to make different things too. For me, even without any law, it is improper, immoral for anybody to be collecting double remuneration anyway, whether pension, whether salary, whatever you call it. It is unfortunately what they are collecting today in the legislative state are backed by law and have not been challenged by anybody. They have not been set aside. I hear Mr. Babalola said lawyers go to court. It's not the lawyers that are here alone. All Nigerians are here. Anybody can about lawyers. Then you can engage a lawyer if one is also interested in it. It's not for lawyers to say you must have ability to go to court to go and challenge it. No, any Nigerian who is not supportable or who can say that the content has been breached and it's affected can go to court and challenge it. The unfortunately the document being passed.
Barrister Tunji.
And then the tax director is now talking. I said today,
we have Barrister, we can barely hear you. If you can hear us, we can barely put together the words that you're trying to tell.
What we are talking about now. At the conflict of law.
Okay.
What we are talking about.
Yeah.
For me, it is not proper for anybody to collect a double remuneration in whatever name to call it.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't know if we'll be able to take phone calls, which is quite sad. But then finally, before we now take a few phone calls that we can take, I'm sure that it will not come to you as a surprise if I tell you this, that a lot of people seem to believe that the Senate or the National Assembly has become something of a retirement home for governors. I'm sure it's not a notion that you've never heard before. Like when they finish their tenure as governors, they just go there and infiltrate the National Assembly. What do you think about this particular notion that ex-governors still want to be relevant and they do so by dominating the National Assembly? How do you feel about that?
Well, for me, for my own philosophy, we need experienced people to be at the National Assemblies. It is not supposed to be meant for young minds.
Okay.
Because it has to do with collation of experiences from the past. So you can actually be able to attach events before you can support emotion or go against emotion. So for me, if you are a governor for 8 years, you are more qualified to be at that place than because you have been part of the system. You understand where we were coming from. So the unfortunate part here in Nigeria is because they have monetized almost everything. You want to monetize governance. You want to monetize being responsible. You want to monetize almost everything. Ordinarily, if it is going to go by my own philosophy of life, somebody that is more experienced should sit where laws are being made, so that there will not be too much emotional attachment. Then they will be able to balance and check the executive in the real sense of it, because they were once powerful people.
Have they been able to do that though?
No, we have. See, that's why I say it's a Nigerian factor, because we have a weak institution, we have weak system. So everybody now sees governance as a source of income, source of enriching people abruptly. But ordinarily, there's nothing wrong if somebody that is experienced in government.
But our peculiar situation here is why it's become questionable.
Yes, that is why people are questioning almost everything.
Thank you very much. Let's see if we can take, even if it's 2-3 phone calls before we call it a wrap on the Situation Room today. Barrister, please allow us a few minutes to take a couple of phone calls. Hello? Hello? All right, I apologize. Please try to make it back if you can. The phone line is 0913-6000-410. That's how you call us. I think we have a call.
Hello, how are you, my sister?
Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us.
For our old brother. Yeah, this is your guest over there.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not that disturbing by touching that blind phone. I'm the one that asked his phone that great voice don't come out very well. This is Ambassador Musa from Ushi.
All right, welcome, Ambassador.
So me, we have two guys there. They are politicians. Sure, stamina. Politicians, their own family. Sure, stamina. When they're outside the box, they spoke well. When the brother inside the box, they stand differently. That's politician for you. I would say that it is we Nigerians, we and their politicians, they are not wishing the people. They are not wishing the institution. I know by God's of grace of God, the power of God, we the institution, we have to wake up. So we are the only one that can put the politician in check. We are the one that can put check and balance, put them at their toes. Like I told you sometimes, the senator, the rep, I said, they could be recalled. But the power, we're still waiting to get the power. I know we're going to get the power one day. You're getting a lawyer. We don't need that. We're going to make the move. and invite them to come and support us to go to court. So we, the people, at the one day, we wake up and do the needful so politicians can have their place. Put them where they belong. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you. If you can, please, 2 minutes. Hello. Yes, good evening to you, sir. Yeah, good evening. Welcome, sir. Please, sir, in a minute if you can.
Yeah, very, very quickly. I just want to talk about one of your either by Tᴜɪ̀ᴛᴛᴇʀ Mʃɪ or the governorship candidate. Yeah, they are talking about the governorship, the state governors are going to Abuja to go and get their decision that they cannot, like, it's federal government that turned them to something else. Look, until they have the constitution that we are having, until they take it back and give us the real constitution. This is not our constitution. It is the constitution that made the governors not to think deeply. They said you think with the outside the box. I used to tell you, you have to think beyond outside the box. It is the constitution. It is the constitution that made them non-viable. Look at the local government. It is the same constitution that made them not to be the real third tier of government that the constitution pronounced them. Let us have our own constitution. If we have our own constitution, or even look at your guest talking in the studio, even if he too has the opportunity to become governor, the constitution will not empower him to be behaving the way he wants to behave, because the constitution will open way for him to get money. That is it. Constitution is the problem, not the people. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for your call. We can still take about okay, actually we cannot take any more phone calls. I apologize. Barrister Tūnjí Abdulhamid, thank you so much for your participation on the show. I appreciate you. I know that you had to quickly take a break to sort out certain things, but I'm grateful that you found time to come back to join the program, and I look forward to talking to you even more on subjects like this one. So have a wonderful day, Barrister.
Thank you. My pleasure to always do it. My pleasure. Part of our self-discrimination, and I always be glad to do that.
Thank you.
And before I go, let me quickly respond to Alaba. I agree with you to accept. If you can do the position of power in our constitution, you can get some things right. So many power on the corporation and making it not work. That's why it's not working.
Barrister, thank you so very much. Barrister Tūnjí Abdulhamid is a legal practitioner, a consultant, a notary public, and a public affairs analyst. Before we go, please let's have your final words before I let you go today.
Well, for me, I want to tell Nigerians to continue to move ahead, march ahead, no matter how difficult it looks. Let's continue to keep the hope alive. If we continue to keep the hope alive, we can always challenge the status quo at every given opportunity. Don't be deterred. The naysayers will always tell you Nigeria can never. It's a lie. There's nobody that will tell you Nigeria can never be good. Because Nigeria can be in its best form at a particular time when people that believes in this country continues to work for it, and they're going to strive and sacrifice their interest for it. Because if we are not ready to sacrifice for this country, then we cannot get it right. So sacrifice is what. So that's why I want to employ people that are of the Japa syndrome, that they should consider their view.
Thank you very much.
Come back home to make Nigeria work.
Thank you so very much. That's Tokwe Abdulrazak Balogun, Action Alliance Lagos State Governorship candidate for the 2023 general election. It was a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so very much for your perspective on the matter. Well, that's it for the Situation Room today. Very intense conversation. I know that a lot of you had so much to say, but time, of course, we're always racing against the clock. But not to worry. Tomorrow is another opportunity, 4 p.m. all the way to 5:30 p.m. here on the Situation Room. My name is Sage Babalola. Thank you so much for always indulging me every time I'm on the radio. This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We look forward to more conversations. Don't go anywhere. The full bulletin is up next.